Professor Giametti, this is part 2 of lesson number 18, again dealing with the cost of capital. We're going to talk about cost of debt. All right? When you borrow money, remember that interest is tax deductible. Okay? And when we're talking about cost of debt, we're really looking at the yield to maturity on new bond issues. Okay? Now, what does it mean, the after-tax cost of debt? All right? What you basically do is you take the yield to maturity, okay, and multiply times 1 minus the tax rate. Let's give a problem to demonstrate this. If a firm is in the 40% tax bracket and it issues debt with a 10% yield to maturity, its after-tax cost of debt will be 6% really, because it can take and reduce its income tax by deducting the interest expense. So for instance, let's say that we have two companies. One has interest expense of $10 and one has no interest whatsoever. If they are in the 40% tax bracket, they're keeping 60% of their income. So in this case, after interest expense, this is the interest, they have $90 of income, of which they're going to pay tax onto and keep 60%. Therefore, they have, after tax, $54. Whereas the one with no interest whatsoever is going to keep $60. There is, in essence, a savings of $4 in tax by virtue of having this tax write-off. Okay? Therefore, we have an after-tax cost of really 6%. Right? It cost us $10, but it saved us $4. So in essence, it really only cost us after tax a total of $6 out of the 10, which is 6%. Okay? They borrowed $100, let's say, and they paid $10 of interest. So out of that $100, it really only cost them $6. That is what we mean by the after-tax cost of debt. When it comes to preferred stock, what is the cost of preferred stock? Well, it is the rate of return, okay, as a percentage of the stock of which we get. So for instance, if the firm issues preferred stock that pays a dividend of $5 per share and the stock sells for $55 per share, okay, but it has flotation costs of $3 per share. In other words, when you issue this preferred stock, the people who market that preferred stock for you, they're going to keep $3 a share. So really all you're getting is $52 out of that. And if you are paying $5 out of $52, that's 9.62%. That is the cost of your preferred stock. Okay. Now, when it comes to the cost of common stock, the problem is there is no set dividend or interest and no face or preferred value, or no face on or preferred stock value. So it's difficult indeed. Here's where you have to just make an assumption. Okay, in the issue of new stock, right, we also take into account flotation costs. So if the firm pays $12.50 dividend on its common stock per share, and expected growth is 6%, while the stock price is at $50 per share, and flotation costs are $4 per share, what's the return? What's the cost of this capital, of this new stock? Well, we take the $12.50 and we take 1 plus the 6%, 1.06, and divide it by the cost of the stock minus the flotation cost. Okay? And then add the 6% growth rate. So in this case, we get 2.65 divided by 46 plus 0.06 gives us 11.8%. Okay? So in this case, the cost of that common stock is 11.8. The cost of preferred stock is 9.62. And the cost of debt is 6%. Notice that debt is generally much less than the cost of preferred stock and common stock. That is basically lesson number 18. Thank you.